It's none for 6. And the bowler coming in is Ian Bishop. He's bowling to David Boone. Your commentators are Bill Laurie and Tony Greig.
It's the view from stump vision, straight down the ground. It's the fast bowler coming there.
Good shot. Quite hot, getting in the middle, but pulled it away safely. It could run 4 here. It's a run boundary. It's good running, 4 all run.
But not a problem there. Brian Lara has taken that. Taylor is gone. And he's getting a bit of a serve, I'd say, from 1 or 2 of the players as he goes. A couple of backward glances there.
And some of the frustration of the morning session disappears with Mark Taylor for the West Indies. He's gone for 13. Australia 1 for 38. Steve Waugh in his 46th test comes out to replace Mark Taylor.
Steve Waugh goes over the top. Launches into Carl Hooper. That's going to be 4. It brings up to 50. So Richie Richardson just allowing Steve Waugh to gain some confidence here. That was a fine stroke.
Steve Waugh has picked up a boundary here. The outfield is fairly slow, but he's hit that one well. He's picked the gap, and the timing was perfect. That was the shot he was trying to play earlier in the over. And that brings up the 50 partnership between Boone and Stephen Waugh.
Curtly Ambrose, 51 wickets against Australia at an average of 21.85.
That's one of the reasons why he's a danger man for Steve Waugh. Brian Lara dives away to his right. The umpire's unsighted. He's referring to his colleague at square leg. The ball definitely hit the edge of the bat. Brian Lara dived away to his right. The question he will be asking is, did it carry? If it did, Steve Waugh is on his way.
And he got the nod from Cole Timmins. Steve Randall went over there to Cole Timmins, and there was a nod of the head. Steve Randall didn't actually put the finger up. He just nodded at Steve Waugh. So Brian Lara having to come a long way forward to complete that catch. And he has come a long way forward. That's a very good catch by Brian Lara at first slip. So Steve Waugh out to Curtly Ambrose for 38. It's 2 for 100.
Mark Waugh comes in to replace his brother Steve. This is his 16th test match. 797 runs at an average of 34.
That could be out as well. It's gone. David Boone caught behind. David Boone will not be happy with that shot. He's played very well all day again. This is a loose shot outside the off stump. A very quick success for Courtney Walsh coming back into the attack. And Richard Richardson delighted with his change of tactics.
All the advantage with the West Indies now, because this is a very, very good batting track. Williams the catcher, Courtney Walsh. The wicket taker Boone 46, and it's 3 for 104.
This is a useful period for the West Indies now in this game. Brings Damien Martyn to the crease, 21 years old, playing now his 2nd test match. And again, off the edge. This time it'll be 4 runs. There's no man at 3rd man. It's gone wide of 2nd slip. Up and over the slip area. A fair crowd at the MCG watching this first day of the Boxing Day test. 45,000 in. Watching Curtly Ambrose bowling at Damien Martyn.
Brilliant. Brilliant. What a good catch. Just dragged from nowhere by Philip Simmons. Absolutely wonderful. Damien Martyn, the batsman.
He's cut this ball away quite fiercely. And Phil Simmons has made this look extraordinarily easy. Damien Martyn on his way back. He can hardly believe what's happened. He's out for 7. Caught Simmons off the bowling of Curtly Ambrose. It's been a very productive spell for the West Indies. Australia are now 4 for 115. Alan Border, the Australian captain, is the new batsman, replacing Damien Martyn. Brilliantly caught just now by Phil Simmons in the gully for 7.
Oh, he's hit that one straight down the ground. A beautiful shot by Border, and it's six. What a magnificent straight hit. He's been hitting the ball straight to mid-off. That one he went down the wicket to and smashed it straight over the top. What a beautiful shot. Welcome back to, this is Border's straight six. About 6 or 7 rows back. It's a long head. It's a big ground, this one. Isn't the psychological aspect of it from a bowling point of view. He sees a nice... Oh, and that's hit Border on the crash helmet. Straight over his head, 4. 4 leg byes. Oh, that's an interesting shot. There's no one down there, so it'll go down to the boundary for 4. High bouncer, and Waugh was onto it in a flash.
Another good shot from Mark Waugh, nicely timed through mid-on. Curtly Ambrose isn't bothering to chase that. 4 runs all the way, beautiful times.
3 overs after this before the second new ball is due. That's a fairly ordinary start by Jimmy Adams. Australia bring up the 200. Mark Waugh doesn't want him to settle into his stride very easily. Straight back down the ground, 1 bounce into the fence. Up and under. May not go all the way. The outfield is quite slow, but the ball is going to go all the way, and that brings up the 100 partnership between Mark Waugh and Alan Border.
Good shot by Border. He's got that one away down towards the 3rd man boundary, and it's gone to the fence. That's a pretty ordinary effort down there by Ambrose.
Grants is fine. That'll go all the way. The old red lanes. Good value. Right off the meat of the back. Fine shot. Beautifully played. The outfield much faster this morning. May not go all the way. It's a long boundary they should run for. All run. Fine throw. Good cricket all round. 4 for 237.
Bishop on his way in now. Oh, he's got that away beautifully. He really has played that shot well today. And in fact, yesterday, that brings up the 250. Border getting himself into a magnificent position to play that pull shot. Oh, and he's missed him. Well, it's gone between the wicketkeeper and first slip down to the boundary for 4. Curtly doesn't look happy to me. Barrage of words. That's a full toss, a rank full toss. You know, every batsman, even those youngsters playing in kindergarten cricket like those. It also brings up the 150 partnership between these two. What a partnership it's been.
Good cricket from Mark Waugh. They took the man away from down there, brought him into that short gully position we were talking about, and he has smashed it away behind square.
That's it. Well played, Mark Waugh. It's a very fine Test 100. A very good battle, especially here this morning against this West Indies attack. Mark Waugh has really earned the 3 figures. He's played very well throughout.
Oh, he's hit that beautifully. Magnificent hit. That'll be 6. Over the top she goes, or did it bounce just short? What a magnificent shot that was. Inside out, just short, and over the boundary, way down there. That deep extra cover. Out, yes, great catch. Magnificently taken, and at last he struck. Boy, does Ambrose enjoy that one. He's been working away at it as a little fella too. That was a magnificent catch. He hasn't got very long arms, and I tell you what, he had that right arm of his fully stretched.
One of the best pieces of bowling we've ever seen in a Test match against a man who sat. The line was right. He wasn't quite there, Mark Waugh, and Williams went away. That was a gem. A brilliant catch, the end of a fine innings. Superb spell of bowling from the big man. And a wonderful round of applause for Mark Waugh making his first 100 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
The Australian wicketkeeper is the new batsman, just 28 years of age, highest score of 71 there. He's never made a Test 100.
Long chase for Ambrose. They should get 3.
Certainly a very good century there by Alan Border.
Ian Bishop will continue from the member stand end. It's a good delivery. That's cut back and hit the glove of Alan Border as he was trying to leave the ball go. He's out caught behind, one of the more straightforward catches for David Williams. And a just reward for some pretty good work with the ball from Ian Bishop today. But Alan Border, a magnificent innings for Australia. Came in when the side was in trouble, as he's so often done in the past. He's out in this manner.
Well, there's not much Border can do about that, except I suppose he could have played at it, but he did all the correct things, and a wonderful ovation for the Australian captain.
And the big fella strides to the crease. Mervyn Hughes, 31 years of age. It's a good delivery that could be out off the glove. Another one caught behind the wicket from the glove. This time Ian Healy playing a defensive shot to a very good short ball from Courtney Walsh, who has, as I said earlier, bowled quite well today without luck until that delivery.
He'll be livid with that, I reckon. He's close to a compulsive hooker. Looks as though he's decided not to play the hook shot, to play the defensive shot instead. And that is quite often the result when you make a decision of that kind. So Healy has gone. West Indies have got their breakthrough. He's out for 24, and it's 7 for 366.
Shane Warne, the other Victorian in the lineup, comes to the crease to join his Victorian teammate Merv Hughes in his 5th Test match.
It's got to be out. It's got him now. Good reply from Bishop. Straight at Shane Warne. Popped it up. Jimmy Adams took the regulation catch. Good piece of bowling.
Well, that's the best way to come back. If there was any doubt about the previous delivery as to whether or not Shane Warne got a faint edge through to the wicketkeeper, there's absolutely no doubt about this. Banged in halfway down. Warne unable to get on top of it. It's come straight off the face of the bat, lobbed up gently. Jimmy Adams gets the reward for standing at short leg for a long, long time now. Shane Warne is out. Court Adams bowled Bishop for 1, and Australia are 8 for 370.
An interesting stage here with Australia 8 out as McDermott takes guard. Oh, gets it fine, could go all the way. Walsh is coming around quickly. Osaka misses, 4 runs.
Oh, he's bowled in. Well, at last they've tried a straight up there Yorker, and down go the stumps. McDermott wasn't in the same parish. No chance of him getting a bat on that one, and so that's the end of him. A full toss. If you're gonna back away like that, that's simply the way to bowl. Australia lose their 9th wicket at 394. 394 for 9. Michael Whitney is the new batsman. He's striding out to the centre now. Oh, big deal for LBW, and that's it. He's out. LBW. And so that's the end of the Australian innings.
A very good performance in the end by the Australians to get up to within 5 runs of the 400 mark. 112 for Mark Waugh, a very good innings. A wonderful knock by Alan Border for 110. Healy batted well for 24, 17 to McDermott in very unusual style, and Whitney a globe at the end. 395, and the bowling figures for the West Indies. Curtly Ambrose, quite magnificent. 35 overs, 10 maidens, 3 for 70. One of the best exhibitions of pace bowling I've seen in Test cricket. Bishop, 3 for 84, and Walsh, 4 for 91.
Well, the West Indian openers are out there now, and Alan Border has his slip cordon in place. First ball in the West Indian innings. Down the leg side, and that was probably off the thigh pad. It's going to go down to the boundary for 4-leg byes, I think. Well, the umpire he signalled leg byes. In the air and over the top of slips. Well, McDermott finding the outside edge there as Haynes went to flash that one away on the offside. Just too high for the slip cordon. Merv Hughes is about to take the new ball. 3 wickets he took in the first Test match. Oh, he's bowled in. He's dragged it back on. Listen to the cheer. Merv Hughes has struck. It looks as if it's come down off his arm, perhaps onto his foot, but anyhow it's rolled back onto the stump. Perhaps bouncing a little bit more than Haynes expected, but Australia struck early on.
Yes, this is a big hit for Australia. It did quite a bit. That's Desmond Haynes gone, the most experienced of the West Indian batsmen. It's 1 for 11.
So Australia off to a great start. Richie Richardson's the new batsman.
Doesn't mind a hook shot. They generally go a long way when he hooks them. Has a tendency to hook up and under because of the small grounds in the Caribbean. He's hit it up and under here, and this is no small ground. If you hit a 6 on this ground, you can hit a 6 on any ground in the world. Merv Hughes continues. That's out. David Boone responding very quickly, as he often does in that position. Phil Simmons off the middle of the bat, thick inside edge probably. The bat jamming into his pads with the ball flying straight off the bat to David Boone, whose reflexes are still working very well. Snaps it up in the left hand, and the West Indies are in trouble.
That is a brilliant catch. Unless they're hit straight at you, they're really not the sort of catches you expect to take at bat pad. David Boone can be very pleased with that effort. Merv Hughes has got his second wicket. West Indies are 2 for 28.
Brian Lara batting at 4. Would have hoped not to have had to bat today. Just a little bit of light rain falling here at the MCG at the moment.
It's a chance. Very well taken. Richie Richardson is waiting just to make sure it's carried. Umpire Steve Randall has put his finger up. No need to consult this time. Richie Richardson must walk. Ian Healy wrong-footed by the original direction of that ball. Dived away to his right and came up clutching a very good catch indeed.
Richie Richardson was not at all happy, but Healy's got it. And it's 3 for 33.
29-run partnership so far here today, and that looks like the end of the second day's play here at the MCG. And a very good day's play it has been.
He's got that one through the gully fieldsman down to the fence there. This field's really just a little bit quicker today, even by comparison with yesterday. He's hit that one miles. Straight down the ground, it's gone, and into the crowd. So a magnificent straight hit.
This is a lovely shot from Keith Arthurton. Used his feet perfectly. Good follow through of the bat. Not quite as far as the great Gary Sobers used to follow through, but good catch in the crowd.
Shouts of catch it, but I think Lara's picked the gap. Just to Border's left and just to Steve Waugh's right.
We've seen some exciting shot making. Wrong, but it's a full toss with Shane Warne going back over the wicket. One bounce into the mid-wicket fence.
Nice deflection down to third man. That could go all the way, and that brings up the 50 for Keith Arthurton. Excellent double for him. Brisbane now the second Test match. A fighting hand. Close, got him. Yes. Brian Lara holds the bat up. He thought there was a noise. Brian Lara did look at the bat, but it looked to be punt to me.
Brian Lara held the bat up because he seems to be suggesting that he hit the thing. Well, let's see if we can pick that up. See if you can see any bat in this. Well, the bat was very close to the ball. Very often you see the he held the bat up there, you can see that, and Whitney is up in the air, and so Lara out for 52. LBW to the bowling of Whitney. 4 down for 139.
Carl Hooper making his way to the centre of the Melbourne cricket ground. Michael Whitney is struck just at the right time for Alan Border. No wicket for 49. It's gone! What a catch! A beauty! Fine cricket.
Well, that's one of the best catches you'll ever see. Diving forward there and snaffling that one just above the surface. Have another look at this. Absolutely unbelievable. He goes forward and in she goes. And what a catch is that?
And what a disappointing stroke just before the luncheon break, just leaning into the lazy drive, and Ward may have been a slower delivery. Took a fine catch. It's 5 for 144. Jimmy Adams comes to the crease 1 minute before the luncheon break.
Fine shot from Jimmy Adams. Down the wicket, used his feet very well and timed this ball beautifully. Found the gap perfectly at extra cover and gets 4 good runs for it. Atherton, the main figure from the West Indies innings, 61 not out, and facing Shane Warne. The first time Warne drops a little bit short. It's a very good pull shot from Keith Atherton. It's just going to make it to the fence at the square leg boundary. It's the first time that Shane Warne's really dropped short at all, and Keith Atherton very quick to take advantage.
There've been only a few loose balls from Shane Warne in his couple of spells today. That one's crept along the ground as Jimmy Adams got the pad outside the line of off stump. And is he interested in running? He doesn't have to. 4-leg buys.
Gone. That's the end of the fine innings. Good bowling by McDermott. Good line. He played just outside the line, straight through to Healy. Regulation catch. That's the breakthrough Australia needed.
That's the line I was talking about, and just about the perfect length. Not close enough for him to come forward, and not short for him to go back and cut. That's perfect. Pitching just about off stump, going across his body. McDermott persisting on that line, and he has been rewarded. Keith Atherton goes brilliantly caught, 7-1. West Indies now 6 for 192.
David Williams comes to the crease to join Jimmy Adams. It's gone! 2 in a row! He's on a hat-trick! Caught behind, just offering the straight back, got the edge, straight through to Healy. McDermott strikes again.
Well, that is not bad bowling at all by Craig McDermott. Pitching on off stump to the left-hander, and immediately changing his line. A good ball off stump to the right-hander. 2 balls in a row. Very, very good bowling that by Craig McDermott to change the line so easily. David Williams goes, no score. Daddles follows him. West Indies now 7 for 192.
Ian Bishop comes in to face Craig McDermott on a hat-trick. The first man to go was Keith Atherton. Craig McDermott. Crowd clapping, chanting. 4 runs to avoid the 4-1, the West Indies. 7 for 192. Bishop on strike. Right in the meat of the bat.
Oh, he's bowled him. Neck and crop. That's a good ball. Went straight through all the defences that Ian Bishop could offer, and back went the stumps.
Terrific spell from Craig McDermott, and it's just gone slightly as a leg cutter. Doesn't have to go much when you're bowling such a good line. Ian Bishop has gone for 9. The West Indies 8 for 206.
So Curtly Ambrose, the new batsman, he's been having a bit of a tough time of it with the bat. Made 4 in each innings at the Gabba in the first Test match. And he's nudged that one down to the vacant third man area. No one down there. Will the ball get to the fence? I think probably it will just. So another 4. Frustrated McDermott a little bit.
Full pitch, and he's cracked that. Damien Martin won't stop that. Goes all the way. Full toss, a loose delivery, and the left-hander hitting with the horizontal bat. Smashes it away for 4. Leg spinner spinning from off to leg with his orthodox leg break. And his rung will spin towards the slip. Curtly Ambrose clubs that. Caught! What a catch! That's the best catch of the season. McDermott making 5 or 6 metres to his right has taken a gem.
Yes, that was a beautiful catch. McDermott diving away, and have a look at this again. He really did smash it away, and McDermott going away to his right there, one-handed. What a catch, and boy, did that bring a smile to his face. 9 for 233.
Courtney Walsh comes to the crease. Craig McDermott's bowled 15 overs today and bowled beautifully. Jimmy Adams on 47, the batsman on strike. Gone! Boone at short leg, a gem. And McDermott once again strikes with that superb fielding.
Yes, another very good catch by David Boone, second one of the innings. He's stayed quite a long way back and snaffled that one, no trouble at all. Have a look at this. There he goes to his right, no trouble.
50 wickets for McDermott against the West Indies in Test cricket. He's bowled beautifully today, well supported in the field. And unfortunately for Jimmy Adams, he doesn't make a 50. It was a fine 47. Mervyn Hughes broke through early. Good effort by Adams and Arthurton and Brian Lara, but they didn't go on after good starts. That's a very good performance by the Australian bowlers. They really have got themselves in a situation now with 2 days to go plus an hour and 3/4 where they can win this Test match.
Let's have a look at the cards now. Remember, the Australians made 395, and in reply now, West Indies 233. An excellent innings from Keith Arthurton. He top scored with 71, and Brian Lara, who was not out overnight with him, made 52. 47 for Jimmy Adams. I thought that was an outstanding effort from Adams. He's playing in his second Test match, his first against Australia. He held together the bottom part of the order there and played very well indeed. A duck for David Williams, 9 for Ian Bishop. Ambrose 7 and Walsh no score. 16 extras, 233 from 85.1 overs. And the bowling figures for Australia: McDermott 4 for 66, bowled very well today. Vast improvement on his performance up in Brisbane. Hughes 3 for 51, a wicket each for Whitney, Warne and Waugh. Mark Taylor will take strike to Curtly Ambrose. Just harking back to that swing bowling session we showed you a moment ago. One of the points people keep writing about and asking about is one raised by the cricket ball manufacturer there about the ball not being able to be rubbed on the ground. So too by umpire Darrell Hare. Used to be able to be rubbed on the ground. John Goddard, the West Indian captain, used to give it a Ramadan and Valentine after doing just that thing. Here's Ambrose.
Australia's slow progress in the second innings has just started to irritate this crowd at the MCG. They'd like to see their players getting on with it. Like to see the runs being scored. That's gone. David Boone completely perplexed by lack of bounce from Phil Simmons. Phil Simmons strikes the West Indies. The crowd wanted some action, and they've got the wicket of David Boone.
One of the problems with just trying to exist. David Boone gets an absolute gazunder there. It was quite short. Phil Simmons is delighted with what's happened, but David Boone is not. I don't think Phil Simmons will be all that excited when he thinks about having to bat on the wicket. David Boone gone for 11 and Australia 1 for 22.
And it's time for the night watchman to make the appearance. Shane Warne made 1 in the first innings, and that's qualified him for this very, very important role as night watchman for Australia. Shane Warne to face up to Courtney Walsh. And not looking very comfortable either. Just to be in a hint of glove in there somewhere. The home crowd, as it were, the Victorian crowd, delighted to see their man away from the danger end. It's the end of the over. Australia are 1 for 26.
Thick edge there. And down to the boundary for 4, and there's an example of perhaps a third slip. In the air and out. That one bounced just a little bit, and Arthurton really wouldn't drop those. Pretty straightforward. The ball bounced a little bit from Ambrose, and Warne trying to turn it away on the leg side, hit the middle of the bat, and went straight to Arthurton.
Yes, not a very difficult catch at all for Keith Atherton. Curtly Ambrose again pushing that ball in towards the right-hander, not trying to beat the bat outside the off stump or to leave the right-hander. Shane Warne goes, did a good job last night though, 2 for 40 Australia.
Stephen Waugh, the new batsman, 46 test matches. Oh, he's gone! What a good catch there by Simmons in the gully. Waugh has gone for the big cut shot there to a ball way outside off stump. It was short, it bounced, the shot was on, he went for it. He really hit it hard, but he hit it straight to Simmons, who got off the ground. He must have been in the air by a foot or two when he took the catch. It was going quickly. Good catch and a good wicket there for the West Indies.
That's a wicket that you have got to give to Phil Simmons. Not too many gully fielders would have taken that catch. It wasn't a particularly good ball. He hit it firmly, but Steve Waugh will have time to sit down and think about that. It's 3 for 41 Australia.
Mark Waugh's the new batsman. In 3 test matches in Sri Lanka, he made 64 runs.
Mark Taylor goes for the hook. Gets hold of it quite well. There's what a distance to cover, but it goes away for 4. That's one of the few aggressive shots that Mark Taylor has played during this innings.
Shouts of catch it, and that's exactly what Jimmy Adams has done. So Phil Simmons a little unlucky, but I think you could safely say that he played his part in bringing about Mark Waugh's downfall.
Yes, I think this last over was still lingering on Mark Waugh's mind there. The good looking shot, but carried in the air just long enough for James Adams to get his hands under it. So Mark Waugh, after having such a brilliant first inning century, he departs.
Damien Martin comes in at a very interesting time. Well, that's pretty close. Well, it's hit the stumps. I thought for a second there it had wrapped him on the pads, but it hasn't. It's wrapped off stump, and that's very similar to the delivery and about the spot where Mike Whitney got Brian Lara out, one that crept very low.
First delivery from around the wicket. Another die-dapper under the bat. Straight into off stump, and Ian Bishop struggled with the ball for most of this match. He's bowled a couple of good spells. A lot of it has been a bit disappointing. We'll be very pleased to see the back of Mark Taylor for 42 and Australia 5 for 90.
Alan Border, who's probably played the best innings of the Test match so far. Mark Waugh certainly got 100 in the first innings, but I thought that Alan Border looked more secure. He certainly didn't give any chances. Phil Simmons can't get up and grab that one. And just the 3rd boundary in the innings for Australia. Oh, he's gone right through Border now. Having bowled bowled Mark Taylor from around the wicket, he's bowled Border through the gate from over the wicket.
A pretty good delivery from Ian Bishop, pitching and then cutting back at the batsman. Alan Border just leaving enough of a gate there to let the ball through, and he's on his way back for 4. Australia struggling at 6 for 102.
Ian Healy is the man that's replaced him, 28 years old.
Walsh once again to Healy. That's straight up in the air. Courtney Walsh, the bowler, has got it. So Ian Healy is gone.
Ian Healy in no position to control this pull shot. Probably a little late on the shot as well, but this ball bounces too much for Ian Healy. Straight back up in the air. Ian Healy out for 8. Australia now 7 for 121. There are about 17,000 people in this ground today, and they gave a typically warm welcome to Merv Hughes.
Whips that nicely away off his hip. Pull shot didn't bounce that high, and he's going to get 4. On the context of the shots played today, that's as good as any. Going for the hook shot. He's going to get 4 more. Well, that's a very good piece of batting. That was a genuine bounce, a hook shot. He hit it fine. And this good crowd of around about 20,000 enjoying this battle. 293 the lead. Merv pulls. That's well played. The crowd roars. Big Merv gets 4. They're bowling too short for the order batsmen, as they did in the first innings.
Simmons to bowl. He's got to go with that one, and there's no one out there. It's over the top. It's 6. Oh, that's a good bat. He had a real go at that one outside off stump. He must have hit the middle of the bat, because that's a pretty long boundary.
So it was extremely well hit. It's made a mess of Phil Simmons' figures. He's been keeping it down to about 1 run and over.
And Hughes now is about to face the music. And the music is coming in the form of Ambrose. Yes, that's it. Out caught behind. Big nick there. And a nicely taken catch by Williams. Diving away. Took that one two-handed. Just that wide-ish delivery which tailenders so often go after.
Seemed to slow that one up a little bit, Kirtley. Certainly carried very easily to David Williams. And a good reward there for Kirtley. Hughes out for 15, Australia 8 for 154.
It's Craig McDermott now striding out to the centre. This is his 41st test match, and it looks as if he's got a slightly bigger chest pad on this time round. In the air and wide of slip. And that'll bring up his 50 as the ball goes bouncing into the fence. So Damien Martin scores his first 50 in Test cricket. Hopefully the first of many. He's hit that one straight to square leg. That's the end of McDermott. A short delivery and straight to Arthurton, who's trying to stay out of the way, but he caught it no trouble at all.
Yes, you wouldn't mind that, because it came right off the toe of the bat. Craig McDermott can go back and chalk the cue, because that's where it hit. Right on the toe end of the bat, and Australia have lost their 9th wicket for 167.
Michael Whitney is the new batsman.
That's in the air. That's run out. What a fantastic performance, and a great try to catch Damien Martin there from Richie Richardson. Brought the ball down, it got to the ground, it wasn't able to hang on to the catch. But recovered very quickly to get the ball back to the bowler, Carl Hooper, to take the bails off and put an end to, not only to Michael Whitney's best ever Test innings, but an end to the Australian innings.
That's a very good performance from the Australians, in keeping with what they would have set out to do at the start of the day. Round about 200 in their second innings, and they have a lead of 358 now. That should be out of reach of the West Indians, but you can never tell with Richie Richardson and his team. They're a wonderful attacking side. 67 for Damien Martin, fine performance from him, and 42 from Mark Taylor. Everyone got into the act there with the wickets except Carl Hooper, who only bowled 2.4 overs. Ambrose bowled well, so did Bishop, 3 for 45 in 20 overs and 5 maidens, and Courtney Walsh 2 for 42, Phil Simmons 2 for 34.
359 runs the West Indies need if they're to win this Test match. And that's a ferocious delivery from Craig McDermott. Merv Hughes mean as ever. coming in for his second over. Oh, that's got him now. That's well bowled by Merv Hughes. Desmond Haynes unable to do anything about this. Again, it's a little bit of extra bounce. Desmond Haynes fishing a little bit outside the off stump, but the Australians have struck. And that's the first West Indies wicket to fall in this second innings.
Very peculiar bounce there again from Merv Hughes, but it was a very good line. Desmond Haynes would have had difficulty not playing at that one. Australia get their first wicket. The most experience of the West Indian batsmen has gone. It's now 1 for 9 West Indies.
And it's the captain, Richie Richardson, who strides out at number 3.
We'll be hoping that this is his day.
He's thumped that through cover. That's a fine shot. That'll go all the way. It's his natural game to hit the half volley hard. Hooks that away beautifully. Get forward, I don't think. Big Merv's coming around. It's into the gutter. Oh, he's a good hooker. He placed that one well because there was a man deep and a man just behind backward square. What a shot. That wasn't from the Scots College of Coaching. That was a superb square cut. It was a fraction short and wide, and Richardson launched onto the back foot.
He was born in Five Islands.
Took that away between the two men, a deep square leg and deep fine leg. That's probably the best hook shot we've seen this match. It was control, it was hit straight to the ground.
That's a good shot. Looked like it may have been a change of mind, but it was very delicate. And it's brought to Richie Richardson a boundary with the late cut. Shades of Alan Kippax there, Rich. That's pretty well hit. Just one bounce and into the boundary, but I don't think Shane Warne would be unhappy to see that shot. 14 overs have been bowled so far. That was the 23-yarder from Merv Hughes. But it's gone a touch more than 23 yards off the bat.
What's 23 divided by 6? 6 threes are 18. A few left over. Merv can work that out on his way back.
Merv delivered it from well behind the crease. It wasn't just to make sure that he didn't bowl a no ball. It was for a bit of variety. Well, it certainly woke up the spectators there in the red seats. Well, finally Phil Simmons gets through the 30s, and he's done it in spectacular fashion with a 6 and a 4.
And Mark Waugh comes on for a bowl at the southern end and gets the treatment from Phil Simmons. It's going to run away down towards the third man boundary. Might not just make it. Damien Martyn doing the chasing. Phil Simmons will still get 4. He's just had to run him. That's gone again. That's hit very hard indeed by Phil Simmons. This time for sure he won't be having to run those 4 runs. Damien Martyn will just be fetching it back. A bit of breath to spare this time. 4 runs here for Richie Richardson. Very good sweep shot. Merv Hughes having a bit of divot trouble at deep square leg. And he's got on with that one too. Onto the back foot very quickly, Richie Richardson. Never slow to get on the hook or the pull.
It's got Phil Simmons playing shots. Might be now what brings him undone.
And there's another shot. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's hit a long, long way. That's gone deep over long off. For 6 more to Phil Simmons.
Well, Simmons doesn't mind playing his shots. I'm not sure if that's another zonger.
He smashed that one through the offside, and despite the fact that they've got off the side over there, he's gone straight through the gap and into the fence for 4. Well, that's over the top, and boy, when he hits them, they stay hit. Into the fence she goes. Yet another boundary. Oh, when he's bowled him, that has just beaten the outside edge. It was also kept a little bit low, but Richie Richardson was looking very comfortable, and all of a sudden Shane Warner struck. What a wicket this is for Australia. He looked very, very watchful as he played down the line. Let's have another look at it.
This ball kept very low indeed. Pitched off stump, kept low and hit off stump. But Richie Richardson goes. The end of a very good partnership for the West Indies. It's now 2 for 143.
Brian Lara is the new batsman. Just 4 test matches, and what a time to come in.
Got in, Boone again. That's probably the best one, because he really hit that, Brian Lara. And David Boone at about 6-metre mark took a beauty.
Another great reflex catch here by David Boone. Brian Lara will be very disappointed. Wasn't necessarily a bad shot. Ball pitched up, just moving into him. He's whipped it off his pads. As Bill said, he likes to play his shots. Fortunately, this time he might have hit it well, but he hit it straight at David Boone at that short leg position. And we've seen so many times before from David Boone. He has great reflexes, and he's done it again. So Brian Lara is out for 4. The West Indies now starting to struggle, 3 for 148.
Keith Atherton makes his way to the crease. Gone, stumped. Yes, beat him. Beautiful piece of work by Healy. That's fine bowling by young Shane Warne. Well supported by Healy. Enticed him down the wicket, beat him in flight and turn. And the West Indies now on the back foot.
West Indies in definite trouble now. Keith Atherton showing some lack of experience here. Not the sort of shot to play in a test match in a tight situation. Alan Border had brought the field up, and I think that was a good move. Try and encourage Keith Atherton to take some risks if he wanted to. He took the risk. He's paid the ultimate penalty. He's on his way for 13. The West Indies are 4 for 165.
Carl Hooper comes out. Disappointing effort that by Keith Atherton in the end to try and hit the leg spinner out of the ground. It was really a slog in the end.
Warne won't mind if he comes down and hits him over the top. Oh, Carl. Beaten off the pitch by Shane Warne. No timing there for Carl Hooper. And Shane Warne has got in again.
This is a big disappointment for all concerned here for the West Indies, for Carl Hooper. Didn't get hold of this ball at all well. That's actually quite a good catch from Mike Whitney. Had to make good ground to get to it. There are very bright blue, clear skies here at the MCG today, but judged it well. Carl Hooper trying to hit this ball over mid-wicket. Is out for a duck. Daddles accompanies him off the field. West Indies are now 5 for 177.
Jimmy Adams played very well in the first innings. He's not on strike at the moment. Phil Simmons is. Phil Simmons 2 away from 100. It'll be one of the best you've seen here at the MCG in many a day. Here's Merv Hughes. There it is. And a very, very nice stroke with which to reach that milestone. Very, very good innings from Phil Simmons. Genuine delight there.
110 to Simmons. Catch, and he's hit it straight to David Boone at mid-wicket. And a little bit of curve once again, maybe through the air, has defeated Phil Simmons. He can be pleased with his century, but he'll be annoyed at getting out at this stage in the match.
Shane Warne does it again. Here you see the drift in the air, going down the leg side, but the spinning brings it back in towards Phil Simmons, and he just succeeds in pushing it into David Boone's hands. A very, very good innings by Phil Simmons, but he will be disappointed, as Ian Chappell says. West Indies now 6 for 198.
David Williams, who got a first ball duck in the first innings, It'll be a boundary. 200 comes up with that boundary to Jimmy Adams.
And that one's flayed through the offside field there, through the gap, in fact, between the very wide slip and the two square men. In the air and caught. Straight to Taylor, and he has a magnificent pair of hands. That was very low. It went very quickly as well. But the Australians know this ground very well. They're standing up. They know the ball doesn't carry. Have a look at it.
Jimmy Adams, a regulation nick going down, but as Tony said, the wicketkeeper and the slip standing a lot closer because they know the nature of the wicket and what happens as the game gets on. Jimmy Adams, always looking a bit vulnerable around off stump, has gone for 16. The West Indies really in trouble now. 7 for 206.
Ian Bishop is the new batsman. In the air, gone. Caught it short extra. Out for a pair. And 5 wickets to Shane Warne. That was a beautiful bit of bowling. He pitched it up just a little slower, went for the drive, and it went straight to extra cover. Mark Waugh standing there, and this is a bad feeling, I want you to know. A duck in each innings in any test match. It's a long way to go out, all the way out there and back twice for nothing. Curtly Ambrose is out there. While we've seen him hit some big hits, I'm afraid he's not in great nick at the moment. Oh, he's hit that one. We had a real go at it. Didn't hit it off the meat of the bat. It went flying down towards third man, so that'll be 4 as well. 8 for 219. Shane Warne again, bowling his leg spinners. And straight to slip. That's the end of him. Well bowled, Shane Warne. Magnificent bowling, that one. Turn, hit the edge, straight to Taylor. And really for him, it was a pretty straightforward catch. So Shane Warne now has 6.
Shane Warne getting some turn again, pitching outside leg stump. Ian Bishop trying to smother it as much as possible. The bounce and the turn was too much for him. Thick edge off the shoulder. Comfortable catch to Mark Taylor. Ian Bishop has gone for 7, and so are the West Indies at 9 for 219. Courtney Walsh replaces Ian Bishop as the West Indies are on the ropes. And that could be the end of the test match. 7 wickets for Shane Warne. Big Merv's got great hands. He won't miss it. And there it is. A great victory for Australia and a tremendous day's work for Shane Warne. His best bowling ever in first-class cricket. And what a time to do it, and what a place to do it in front of his own crowd here at the MCG. Congratulations from all round, and so it should be. Shane Warne has one of the stumps under his arm as a memento of one of his great days on the cricket field. Australia go to a 1-0 lead after 2 test matches here in the 5-match series. Shane Warne tosses it up. Courtney Walsh delivers it to Merv Hughes. Big Merv has got big hands and very good hands as well in the forward pocket. Never going to miss one of those. So the Melbourne viewers join us to find out that Big Merv has taken the final catch. Shane Warne has taken 7 wickets. Australia has won comfortably here in the 2nd test match at the MCG.
And that catch by Merv Hughes meant the West Indies are out for 219. A tremendous performance from the Australians there after West Indies looked as though they might just have saved it at one stage when Simmons and Richardson were batting. Good innings from Richie Richardson, the skipper. A lovely knock from Phil Simmons, who's one of the nicest of men and thoroughly deserves a century. 110 for him. The others fell away. They were no match for the Australians towards the end, and the bowling figures reflect precisely what happened with the Australians. McDermott 1 for 66, bowled better than that. Hughes 1 for 41. He's been a marvel in this match, Merv Hughes. Whitney 1 for 32, and Shane Warne 23.2 overs, 8 maidens, and 7 for 52.